Again, for those of you just joining us, my name is Nathan Latka. I'm the CEO and founder here at Heyo, where we're focused on helping you guys capture emails and drive sales and engagement via social media. In fact, we unmuted Kara just earlier, who works with Megadeth, who used us last week, and Kara said she loved how the campaign performed. You'll hear from her later on in the webinar. All right, so again, what are we focused on today? Well, specifically, we're focused on the 6 things you need to know about the new fan page design that will be coming to your fan page no later than the end of this week. Facebook has said that with 100% certainty, this will be out to everyone by July 3rd. So these changes will be happening. You'll want to stay throughout the entirety of this webinar to make sure you don't miss anything. Let's just really quick check off a few administrative items. So again, I see Andy Seguin, digital brand marketers, Rockstar Marketing, and everyone else checking in on Twitter. I have another desktop that I see that coming in. So keep chatting there. That's great. Everybody else, you should be able to see me. And on my screen right now, you should see in the next 30 minutes exactly what you'll learn. Those of you that are not focused on my screen, I just want to reiterate, the webinar is starting, so put away your distractions and focus here on my screen, because in the next 30 minutes, you're going to learn specifically about 3 things. The first is about the 108 new pixels you'll be able to use to get more likes, more comments, and more shares on every status update that you post. That's the first thing. The second thing is we're going to focus on Facebook's new hovering like bar trick and 5 other changes that you really need to know about before the end of the week. And lastly, I'm going to tell you how a fan page administrator really took advantage of these new changes in a pretty surprising way, actually, to double her email list. So that's what you guys have in store for you. Now, for those of you that have no idea who I am, this is my story on one slide, encompassing about the last 3 years. This was me back in my dorm room about 4 years ago when I started helping people on Facebook when I launched this company called Nathan Latka Custom Fan Page FBML for Newbies. And you can see even back then, I had an inkling of how this thing worked because I had got 173,000 likes on this page. Again, all from my dorm room. I was studying architecture and business finance with no other experience. Well, believe it or not, this took off so much that the program was then featured in the highly successful and popular Wiley series in Facebook Marketing All-in-One for Dummies. So that was great. After that, I've been asked to speak all around the country and world at events like you see here. This was Social Media Week in New York. This was sharing the stage with actually former President George Bush at the World Leaders Forum at Judson University up in Chicago. And then just recently, the company has continued to grow. We're continuing to help people like Kara, who you heard earlier on the webinar at Megadeth. We're helping small businesses build their business using social. And because we're growing so fast, we just recently raised a round of funding for $2 million with hugely intelligent partners. And as you can see here on Yahoo Finance right here. Then just about 2 weeks ago, I joined one of my good friends, Subi Du, on Creative Live, where we taught about Instagram and Facebook for small businesses, but business marketing. Over 10,000 people turned into this, and it was really a huge success. In fact, Creative Live has told us, and it's on their website, that this course, out of all their courses, is the #2 in their history for money and life and business building for small businesses. So it was hugely successful. And then over the course of this story, Heyo and myself, we've been featured in Social Media Examiner, All Facebook, Jeff Bullas, Inside Facebook, and the list goes on and on. But guys, we wouldn't be where we were today if it wasn't for you guys. Those of you that use us. The team is now at 15 people. You see here a shot of our office when we were making a special announcement several weeks ago. We help over 2,000 paying customers every month, and our focus is on building the most valuable social marketing tool for you. Yeah, you listening right now, that's our focus. So without further ado, let's again get into the agenda. We're going to focus on, again, driving engagement on every status update, the 6 things you need to know about the changes, how a fan page administrator doubled her list size, and lastly, you'll want to stay till the end because we're going to give away $100 in free Facebook ad credit. It's very cool. All of you will have a great chance to win. We'll do that giveaway right at the end. So we're about to dive into this content, guys, but I need your help before we get started. Specifically, I've got 2 questions for you. The first is I'm curious, how many of you guys are already a Heyo customer? Answer on your screen right now. And I'll wait. I want to make sure everyone gets a chance to vote. So I see about 66% of you have voted. I'll wait till about 80% of you have voted. So if you're not looking at my screen, tune in real quick, vote, so you don't have hold everybody else up. Okay, great. Perfect. I'll close that poll. And then the second question I have for you is, who are you? What are you? So you'll see here on my screen, are you a small business between 1 and 10 employees? Are you an agency, like Brittany, who we spoke with 10 plus clients, right? And they likely pay 500, 600 bucks a month. Are you a freelancer with 2 to 5 clients who pay 200 bucks or so per project? Are you an entrepreneur who's hustling and in the grind every day, 1 to 20 employees, about 200K per year plus in revenue? Or are you none of the above? Take a second and go ahead and answer on my screen. And if you say none of the above, tell me in the GoToWebinar questions what you are. Again, if you choose none of the above, tell me in the questions exactly what you are, the GoToWebinar questions. All right, guys, thanks for that. Because you took the time to answer that question, I'm going to be able to more accurately focus the content around this webinar. So let's continue on to the next slide and focus on the 108 new pixels you'll be able to use to get more likes, comments, and shares on every status update that you publish. This is most likely, this is the most visual change that's happening, and it's the first change you need to know about. The timeline will be expanding from 403 pixels wide, okay, to 511 pixels wide. Okay, I'll say that again. Facebook's moving the timeline from a 2-column layout to a it's still 2 columns, but 1 column is the timeline, and the width of this is changing from 403 to 511. Okay, 403 to 511. So you want to keep this in mind as you're developing images to feature in posts. You want to do, again, 511 pixels wide moving forward. You can still pin items, which is great. You can still highlight items. They just won't highlight across the whole screen. Okay, so again, 403 pixels to now 511 pixels with this new timeline. Second, Facebook's hovering like bar trick, and then the 6 other changes you'll need to know about. This is an interesting feature specifically because of how it's worded. Take a look at my screen to see what I mean when I say how it's worded. So you'll notice here it says, get updates from Kipper Estate in your news feed. This reiterates a few things. One, Facebook takes it as a strong signal if somebody likes your page that they want to see your content in their feed. So you want to start optimizing for this. So if you're Mike Macy or Leslie Beckert or Abby Rosenberg or Ahmed or any of you checking in with us on Twitter, Andy Swigwin, Digital Brand Marketers, Brian Nye, Carol Magari, guys, when you're developing your new images for status updates, and Linda, this is important for you with your wedding company as well, okay, over there in London, you want to make sure you stretch the width, okay, again, to the 511, but also potentially include an up arrow or a call to action in the graphic. So follow my mouse right here. You can kind of see the shape I'm making, like an up arrow, because using that up arrow, you'll then basically drive more likes. So you want to call attention to that like button as consumers or fans, prospective fans, scroll down your page. This hover bar will scroll down as well. And I'll show you exactly how that works right now on Facebook. So I'll go in, okay, and I'm going to go to Kipper Real Estate, or Kipper Estate. And you'll notice here, as I scroll down, I've unliked the page. Do you see how this update, it's staying right here on the screen? So it's sticky, right? You want to encourage, again, maybe put a banner across every photo you post that says, want more content? Click like above. Because when they scroll down, that banner will then be pointing directly to the like button right here. Okay, so again, little tactic, guys. This is something that'll take you 20% of your time, but the results will be 80% increase in likes, right? Because you're optimizing these new changes. So that's what the new like bar, or excuse me, the hovering like bar looks and feels like. And now we're going to get into the 4 other changes you need to know about. We already talked about the larger timeline. We talked about the like bar and the hover bar being wider. Now I want to tell you about how a marketing manager took advantage of these new changes to double her list. Okay, how a marketing manager took advantage of these new changes to double her list. Now, while I do this, I want to ask you guys a question real quick. What industry are you in? Tell me in the GoToWebinar questions. Okay, I want to cater some of this content around the industries you're in. So tell me via the GoToWebinar questions right now, what industry are you in? Okay, so I see Mia's in government. We see child's literature with Shelley Bernauer. David Dunworth is marketing and media. Amanda is construction equipment. Amanda, great having you. We've got Christina, Brian, Mike Morris, Tracy, Larry Miller. Amanda is with a nonprofit, lots of nonprofits. We've got Jacqueline Malley, who's a social marketing manager. Scarlett's in that space too. She's a social media advertising. I see fashion, graphic design, mortgage brokers. So Danny Alias is antiques and mid-century modern retailer. Great. So a huge variety of people. That's good. Let me move forward and show you again how this marketing manager used this new layout to double her email list. It all started with these left-hand navigation changes. So remember, at the top of the webinar, I mentioned this new area on the right is the timeline. This area on the left is going to house all of your navigation, starting with the number of likes and friends who like the page. Second, it'll feature the About Your Business section, and this will actually be a link now. Okay, it used to not be. This will actually be a link. So if you don't have this link on your page, go in right after or make a note. Okay, this is an actionable item. Go to your Facebook page and update this link in the About section. Okay, so you'll drive free clicks to your website. Additionally, make sure your About section is optimized. This is the text that Facebook is going to search when a Facebook user asks for something. Here's what I mean when I say that. Let's say I'm looking for, I'm visiting London. Okay, I'm going to say restaurant in London that my friends visited. Okay, restaurants in London, the United Kingdom, that my friends have visited. Okay, so notice a few things. All of these people have updated, okay, their About section with their address to include London. That's why when the consumer searches London, all of these appear. If you're a restaurant in London and you don't have that About section updated, you're not going to appear here. And there's consumers using Facebook for recommendations about social activities like where to eat. Okay, so update that About section, and then again, it's valuable to get your friends liking a page, okay, or excuse me, to get people liking your page, because when people search, that's what will appear. I might say marketing company in Chicago that my friends like. Okay. Oh, or maybe I'll say PR firm in Chicago. And these searches, folks, are what Facebook uses, okay, to generate these results. So make sure you get your About section updated. And when I go back to Kipper, I'll show you exactly where that is. It's right here, okay? And you can go right into the About section and update this. This text is what will then update. So be sure you do that. The third part are your applications, okay? Your applications, which are right here. You know, your applications are moving from across the top to down here on the bottom left, which is okay. In fact, you're about to see the story of how a marketing manager used this change to increase or double her email list literally in a week. And then under that, you'll see photos, videos, and everything else related to the page. So let me show you or tell you the story. And I tell you what, you are going to love Amy. Amy is a marketing manager, okay, at Mixed Bag Designs. She's an entrepreneur and a small business, okay? So she's got about 1 to 10 employees, does over $100,000 in revenue annually, and she's hugely successful. Now, she used this new design in a very creative way. She launched this contest, which featured a strong incentive for her new purse. And again, if you're missing this on my screen right now, you're really missing out. This is the good stuff of this webinar that you can copy to increase your likes, emails, and sales with the new layout. She has a countdown built in, along with opt-in and share options over on the left. Now, this was also mobile optimized, which is critical because and you can tweet this, the average Facebook user is spending 914 minutes on mobile Facebook apps every month. Again, the average Facebook user is spending 914 minutes per month on mobile Facebook apps. So you're losing out on about 50% of your conversion opportunities and engagement opportunities if you don't have a mobile version built. So the results of this campaign were remarkable. She captured 1,800 impressions, and from those impressions got 582 emails captured for a 30% conversion rate. It was really remarkable. Now, look what Amy said about this campaign across the top of my screen, right where my mouse is. I'll let you read that. So you see, Amy was skeptical. She's a small business and entrepreneur. She's extremely busy and didn't have time to tinker around with designing code to fit their company's image. So she was able to work with Heyo to launch this campaign, double her email list, and the ease of use, she said, was, quote, amazing. Here's another example that I want you to know about. This is Milena Regos. Now, she's a small agency. She has 10 or more clients that pay her about 200 to 3, well, actually, it's about 400 to 800 bucks per month for her services, called Out and About Marketing. She launched the same kind of campaign, leveraging the new layout, got exposure for this contest, and captured 4,500 emails. You can see here on my screen for a 30% conversion rate. And lastly, Paula Abdo, who runs a nonprofit and runs this brick and mortar Nicollet Island Inn up in Boston. This campaign with the new layout captured 1,200 impressions, generated 716 new email leads for Paul for a 60% conversion rate. So these tactics really are working. Now, here's what I'd like to do. Remember, you'll want to keep watching because we still have 3 additional changes you need to know about, and we've got a giveaway at the end for $100 in free ad spend and live Q&A. Now, before we do that, let me just ask real quick. I need one of you guys to use as a live example. So I want you to raise your hand if you have your microphone connected. If you don't know how to do that, you can look at my screen. All right, Betty, you're unmuted. Is your microphone connected?
Hello.
Hey, Betty, how are you?
Unmuted. Hello.
Good. Hey, it's great having you. Tell me real quick, what industry are you in? What's your business?
I'm a social media marketer for dentists and a school, and we've got about 10 clients.
That's great. So let me ask you, Betty, I can keep chatting about the changes, okay, and just verbally articulate the strategy and how to, or I can spend 5 minutes here and actually show you via screen share how to take advantage of some of these changes. Would you like me to screen share?
Sure.
Awesome. Guys, you guys can feel free to tell me as well in the GoToWebinar questions. Do you want me to actually show you how you can take advantage of these changes to double your email list versus just talking about it? And Betty, stay tuned. I'm going to unmute you at the end of the webinar as well to get your feedback, okay?
Okay.
All right, great. Let me see what you guys are saying, what you want in GoToWebinar. Okay, great. A lot of people saying, yes, please show us. So I will do that. I'll do that. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to first go ahead And I want you guys just to take notes and follow my screen, okay? Don't get lost. Here we go. I'm gonna go to Heyo and log in, and I'll show you how you guys can go in and actually do this, copy these as well at the end of the webinar. So just focus on my screen for now. And what I wanna do is actually, I'm gonna unmute, who can I unmute here? I'm gonna unmute Bob Hendry. Bob, you're unmuted, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Can you hear me?
I can hear you great. I'm gonna use you as a live example if you're okay with that.
Sure.
Okay, Bob, tell me, what's your business?
We own a med spa that provides waxing, facials, Botox, filler, all that sort of thing locally. And we're also involved in a network marketing skincare business.
Great. So I'm going to use the Met Spa example. And what is the website URL, Bob?
The website or the Facebook page?
The website first.
Okay. OurLittleSecretSpa.com. All one word.
Great. So is this your site?
Yes.
Perfect. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you, Bob, how you can take advantage of these new changes to double your email list, which will enable you to book more facials, get more people coming in for massages, and have more people using you for skincare. Sound good?
Sounds great.
All right, guys, here we go. I'm going to start by choosing a template that's compatible with new Facebook changes. And I'm going to use this sweepstakes template right here, Bob. So I'm going to click select. And the first thing I want to do is change out this logo to Bob. I want to use your logo. So I'll click this logo. And Bob, is this your logo up here in the upper left?
Yes.
Okay, great. Our Little Secret Med Spa. That's what I'll use. And I'll paste that in here. And Bob, just like that, you've got your logo integrated. Super quick. Second, we need to pick a strong incentive. And Bob, you have some feedback, so I'm going to mute you for now. I'll unmute you here in a second. We then want to pick a strong incentive, something, Bob, that you can give away that will encourage people to opt in. So I'm going to use this image here of what looks like to be an extremely relaxing massage at my secret spa. Paste in that image right here. And then I'm going to change this text to say, follow the steps on the left for your chance to win a free spa from Met Spa. I'll make this larger, center it, okay? Make sure I get the text exactly how I want it. All right, perfect. That's what I want. And then I can go in and set the contest countdown. I want this to last less than a week. This will create urgency and increase your ability to double your email list quickly. Again, what this does is it encourages the person to opt in and enter right now versus getting distracted. Lastly, I'll then put in your fan page URL here, which means every time someone clicks like, they'll be liking your page, Bob. Okay, it's a great way to increase your likes from 908 to 1900. Let me go back and I'll put in that link. And then I'll say, put in share text. This is the text people will share and tweet with their friends on Facebook and Twitter. So I'll say, I just entered to win a free massage. Click here and you can too. And lastly, we want to integrate Twitter with this as well, because that will really ramp up our campaign. And I see Nurse Tracy here, which is great. I'll use Little Secret Spa as the username, click Save Changes. And guys, I can get more creative here if I want by customizing the background design. Okay, maybe a soothing background design. This kind of feels like running water, so I'll use that. But you can change the background design to any of these patterns. Okay, actually that's kind of cool too. You can change the color, okay, to whatever you want. I'm going to leave it as a light gray for now. All right, perfect. And then I'll click Save and Preview. Okay, and once I get to Save and Preview, I'm then going to check this out. Look at the mobile optimized version, which is critical for this new layout. So I'm going to click this button, and you're going to see how we magically built the mobile version at the same time as you built this version. So look at my screen right now. You're not going to want to miss this. It's as simple as clicking this button right here. And Bob, isn't this gorgeous? I bet you've never built a mobile, your own mobile campaign before, but check this out. You've got it all right there in a gorgeous looking mobile layout. Bob, you're unmuted. Pretty slick, huh? Oh, and I see Bob's actually muted himself. That's okay. Okay, but you can see where the mobile optimization is critical. I'll say publish to Facebook. I'll name the campaign free massage. Change the thumbnail if I want. Now the thumbnail in the new design layout, the thumbnail is what will appear right here. Okay, so you want to make sure you put something like win price here is a great example. Okay, something that people will click. So I'll upload that image. Okay, I want it to publish to mobile, and I want to publish it to a website landing page as well. So I'll click publish. Choose the page I want to publish to. And folks, just like that, you have your own campaign with a smart URL. So using that smart URL, you can guide people to the campaign, and it's really easy for them to opt in. So this is how Amy doubled her email list. She got the opt-in because she gave away a strong incentive. People then clicked like, just like that. So she got additional likes. They shared it with their friends, like, right? Because people would say, help me win. Okay. And they also tweeted it, which sent it out to their audience. Okay. So all of those things that I just did, all right, all those things that I just did allowed the campaign to expand exponentially. It allows you to get free traffic without spending a bunch on advertising. So I'll remove this so people don't think it's a real campaign on accident. And that's how you take advantage of the new layout to double your email list and drive increased engagement. In fact, a lot of people ask me, they go, Nathan, this new layout and this contest concept, you know, my industry is not a normal one. Will this campaign strategy work? So you might be thinking, you know, Farrell Albertman is in real estate, or Brittany Breslin is joining from renewable fuels, or Paul, who's in HVAC manufacturing. You might be thinking, or even Colin Stout, who's joining in travel. You might be thinking this won't work for you. But look at some of these industries that are using and taking advantage of this new layout to drive sales and conversions. This is a golf resort. You can see here on my screen. And right where my mouse is, you can read the amount of emails they captured and the conversion rate on this campaign, which was through the roof. Here's another quote unquote weird industry. So this is a knitting company. Now, you'll never guess how many emails they captured from this campaign. No ad spend. And guys, if you look at my screen, you'll see they captured 3,200 emails. 3,200 emails. They more than doubled their list with this new contest that takes advantage of the new Facebook layout. And that was from 5,000 impressions for a 64% conversion rate. Here's another one. This is actually founded by a woman who built these. Okay, and what she did is she's actually an entrepreneur. She's a small business owner. They've got about 9 employees, and it's basically these inscribed messages on bracelets. Okay, and again, great results here. 1,500 emails captured for a 53% conversion rate. So it worked really well. Lastly, this is Maggie Henris, who's a social media manager at Average Joe's Entertainment. Okay, she used this contest layout paired with the new Facebook changes and added 1,700 likes to her page, so she's now up to 9,500, and grew her email list by 900 new emails. She's in the music industry. So you also might be asking, well, Nathan, will this concept work if I have less than 100 likes on my page? The answer is yes. Okay, if you have less than 100 likes and you're skeptical, look at my screen right now. You won't want to miss meeting Andrew Medlum, who you see his story here on my screen. He launched his fan page from nothing and over 11 days captured 2,000 likes, 1,300 clicks to the campaign, and 862 new email leads, all without spending a lot of time, energy, and money. This was starting from scratch. In fact, you can see a screenshot of his Aweber backend right here. Guys, this is like a secret. he captured 194 subscribers in less than 4 hours of launch. So it was incredibly successful, very fast, and it will work for you. So let me ask you guys, regardless if you have the new layout or not, tell me in the poll on your screen right now, have you launched a Facebook campaign or contest like this before? Select either yes, no, or no, but I want to in the next 14 days, maybe for July 4th. Again, you see a poll on your screen right now. Go ahead and answer this before we move forward. Currently, about 60% of you have voted. I'll wait for about 70% of you to vote and then move forward. We're at 65%, 66%. Again, if you're not watching my screen right now, go ahead and vote so we can move forward. There we go, 68% of you, great. So I'm gonna close this poll and I'll share the results so you can see them. A bunch of you said, yes, I have, 27%. 47% of you said no, and 26% of you said no, but I really want to in the next 14 days, which is great. So I'll hide those results and continue moving forward with the other two changes you need to know about. We'll then do the big giveaway for $100 in free ad spend, and also we'll do live Q&A. So you want to stay till the end of this webinar because we've got surprises for you. The fourth change you need to know about are the new administrative controls. Your new navigation bar will be located in the upper left of your fan page if you're an admin. Your access to Ads Manager will be in the upper right, and you'll have a new handy template on the right side of your fan page that'll tell you this week's updated information. Okay, specifically how many ads you're running, if any, your new page likes, your reach, and your new notifications. So this is how this new administrative control layout will work. You'll probably spend most of your time up here in activity and insights, okay? The fifth change that you'll want to know about, and then again, we'll go on to the sixth, but the fifth one is leverage this new tool called Pages to Watch, especially if you're working on a budget and don't have a huge $100,000 Facebook marketing budget. This Pages to Watch feature will allow you to watch your competition and then copy strategies that they're using that work well. Maybe not copy them, but you'll get ideas from what they're doing, which will help you launch more successful campaigns and status updates. The way you use this is by upgrading to the new Facebook layout, which all of you will have by July 3rd or close to the end of this week. And then you click Insights and go to Overview, and you can add Pages to Watch. Okay, you can add Pages to Watch right there. So I hope that makes sense for you guys. And the last thing that's really important for you to know about is this new navigation bar. So this is significantly different than what it used to look like, but it'll feature your timeline, your About section, photos, all your applications. Okay, so you'll be able to feature one application right here, and then all your other applications over here on the right. So what we see Kipper doing, and what we see a lot of people, like we talked to Kara at the beginning, Kara at the beginning of this webinar. She's with Megadeth, and I'm going to see if I can find Megadeth on Instagram. Here they are. What Kara might do is copy their Instagram link, go back into Heyo, launch another application to take advantage of this new layout, and under social templates, you'll see we have one to feature your Pinterest boards, your Instagram, and your YouTube channel. So I'll select Instagram, click it, go ahead and put in Megadeth, which is the official username. You'll see the design will update, and just like that, I can save changes and have this feed directly in your Facebook page, which you can now list again as an app right here under the More section, like Pinterest wedding boards, Instagram boards, etc. Another cool thing you can do here is do a photo contest using a hashtag. So Megadeth could say, hey guys, if you're at one of our concerts, send us a hashtag with hashtag Megadeth, hashtag your event location for a chance to win, right? So we might say hashtag Megadeth concert, and it will pull in all the images with that hashtag. Again, look at all these images from the concerts. So it's a creative way to launch a social campaign, leveraging that new navigation bar right here at the top. So with all that being said, guys, I've got a big question for you. Here's what we've learned so far. We talked about how to drive additional engagement on every status update with the larger width. We talked about the like bar and the 6 additional changes you need to know about. And I showed you Paul and Milena and how they doubled their email lists, taking advantage of this new layout.